All right, welcome to another episode of Formula One Fanatics. It's going to be me and Johnny today. We'll jump right straight into it with Charles Leclerc and the shit show that is continuing to
Well,
unfold.
join.
Oh, Khalid's joined. Okay, very good. Talk about shit shows. Here comes one right now. Anyway, we're watching this season. It's going to tell two stories. You've got Red Bull and you've got Williams. They're doing their work. They're getting better. Then you've got McLaren, which has a really fast car, but is determined to lose the driver's title by all means necessary. Then you've got Ferrari, who we're focusing on today. To be honest with you, as much as I don't like Ferrari, and as much as I was a Hamilton hater because of Verstappen, this is sick to watch. It's not even fun. I don't gain any bit of satisfaction from watching what's going on with this team. It's really sad. Leclerc came out and said that riding in Singapore was like being a passenger in the car, which basically says car does what it wants to do, snappy, understeer, everything. And I mean, this car is pathetic. This whole season has been pathetic. And every weekend, oh, this is the weekend free qualifiers. And it's just really, really, really bad. Um, to the point where we can't blame Leclerc or Hamilton. But I will say that what makes it worse is this. Let's look over at the other side of the garage with Verstappen. When that car got rubbish, him and the mechanics were sitting down there working on trying to figure out how to get the car. Not the mechanics, the engineers. He's been working setup to setup all year, struggling, sweating, and finally he has a decent car. Now, I'm not saying that the same could happen with Ferrari because they made some serious changes to their front suspension in 99% of their car last year. So maybe it doesn't even have the potential to resurrect the way that Verstappen resurrected it. But what happened to old school, Quinley? What happened to old school F1, where you see Schumacher standing at the garage giving the engineers more feedback than they can imagine, and with guys working? I don't see it with Ferrari. I see a rubbish team, not the drivers. They're not rubbish. Rubbish management, rubbish. Vasura is rubbish. The car itself is rubbish. But at the same time, with Hamilton and with Leclerc, not just this season, I haven't seen a history of sitting down and problem solving when there's a bad car. And especially Leclerc, who's talking about is like being in a passenger and there are rumors he's going to leave. Leclerc should know better. This guy came into F1 at 18 years old, beating Vettel. He's been around. He had the fastest car 2 years ago. He has to take some of the blame because he makes too many errors. They had a statistic. They said that the guy has had between Baku and Monaco, he's had like seven pole positions in those tracks and only won twice. How do you not win with a pole position on Monaco or Baku, in which is hard to pass? So he has to take some of the blame. Same thing with Hamilton. Hamilton has never sat down with a bad car and won with a bad car. Now we're seeing Verstappen doing it. So they have to shoulder some of the blame, although it's most of the team. But I feel bad for Leclerc. He has no championships, and I don't think he's going to get one with Ferrari. And I don't even think he has the skill set. Not the skill set. He's too error prone and too reckless to ever win a championship. That's what I think. What do you think, Kunle? Is Kunle
I
there?
won't say that the Red Bull is a bad car. I mean, it was the best car 2 years ago. I do believe that it's just very specialized towards Verstappen. It's become like one of those kind of wild stallions that are
No,
hard
we're
to
talking about Ferrari.
control.
Okay, but Kunle, I'll say one thing.
But I do
I'll say
think
one thing.
at
I'll
the
talk
same
about
time I
Ferrari,
will
but
give credit to Verstappen for some of his abilities
Kunle, very quickly
driving
on the
so
Red
well
Bull.
and competitive.
Here's what I mean by
Am I
bad
still
car.
there?
Yeah. Sorry to jump in front of you. Here's what I mean. Yeah, we're talking about Ferrari, but also with Red Bull. Red Bull's car this year was having braking issues and had no stability in the back for more than half of the season. We're not talking about the window; it had no stability at all, and the braking was really bad. But they fixed that with their floor. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
yeah.
so about Ferrari, man, I mean, they know. I mean, some weeks back, that incident about the under the floor, where
Yeah.
it was low. Then in the middle of the race, towards the end of the race, then they increased the size and the height of the
Yeah.
car so that they don't get disqualified and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. So since then, I just they've said it that their car, they actually made it clear that that car cannot do anything this season. I mean, it's
No.
just they're just gonna just roll it out every weekend from long weekend and see what comes out. There's really nothing nothing that's gonna happen with Ferrari. I've actually, and like you said, it's very painful just watching them. Great car, great driver. they're both are actually good drivers, but nothing is going to happen with Ferrari this season. It's just going to just be one weird story after the other, because they actually there's nothing they can do. They made a mistake right from the beginning, changing whatever they did so that Hamilton can come in,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And Hamilton, I don't know. I think he went to Ferrari. I mean, I think it's more of the money. It's the money that took him over there, man. They made him an offer that he could not actually refuse. So he was like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
earning twice as much as the world champion. Well, why don't I take it? That kind of thing. So Ferrari is just going to be boring for the whole season, and that's actually boring to say. But I mean, just winning nothing is Hamilton's
They're
going to
gonna
keep
come.
coming
They're gonna
seventh.
come fourth in the constructors. They're gonna fall behind Mercedes and
Yeah,
and this going again. I'm not going to put it on the drivers, but if you look at Mercedes, they've been bad all season. Not bad, but they've had ups and downs. But they too are working through their problems. I don't see
yeah.
Ferrari, and maybe like you said, maybe they made so many changes at the beginning of the year that they doomed the car for the whole year. So in that case, they should just be focused on next year because you know what? If they don't come top two next year and they come third or fourth,
To be focused
that
on next year.
that's it. Vasseur and Hamilton will both be gone. Kunle, are you here?
Yeah, I had to batteries on low, but this is a more reliable internet connection, so I had to go here.
Oh yeah. So
Yes, I
quickly,
think Ferrari lost their way. They're not really their team, and it's more their team that has lost their way. And the team having lost their way has now had a negative effect on the morale of the drivers. Ferrari need to get focused and they need to concentrate back onto to get back. It's very disappointing what they've done. Hamilton has been hanging his head down low all season, and that has affected his driving. We've seen even when he's performed well, Hamilton has been not happy, even when he's had good results. So I do think that he needs. Ferrari needs to sort out their team. I don't think Vasseur is doing them any favors whatsoever, and
well,
there's too many clashes in the team as well.
yeah. And so you know what it is now. So Ferrari is not using data. This is what I mean. When they made that major change last year, it was totally conceptual. They didn't even. They said it's a risk. That's just another word for me. They weren't using data to make their decisions to change their car. And now you see the results of not using data. If you get what I'm saying, I know it sounds boring. You have to have data-driven changes on your car. You have to analyze your car to be able to try to predict when you change certain parts and pieces, and then also given the track conditions. And we know that it's not on 100% science because Red Bull's wind tunnel is not that good. But at least it doesn't seem like Ferrari at all has any methodology with their car. Like you said, it's just a bunch of guys drinking vino and cappuccino.
No,
But
it's
Too much of this and not enough
yeah,
of that. Too much
yeah.
of this.
Bang this to put it there. Put us some red paint on it. It'll drive fast, I tell you. You know.
Too much of gripping their fingers together and gesturing. And too much, they're from the school of if it's a problem, hit it with a hammer or keep
Yeah.
experimenting till an experiment works. And the problem is when they now do get it right, they don't stick with what they get right. The very next week, they start doing something else. I mean, it's a shame that they did not build on the platform that they had from last season and build
Mhm.
conservatively. If they had done
Oh,
so
they would have won the
conservatively, I
title
think that
with the way that McLaren is driving now. Clearly, Ferrari would have beaten them or been right there with them because we're seeing that McLaren. There's nothing special about them. They've been demystified. Their drivers are not that great. So if they kept pushing their car with Hamilton and Leclerc on the same team, and the car that was only 14 points behind McLaren, they'd be fighting for the championship and the constructors and the drivers. What do you think, Johnny? Yeah.
I mean, they're actually the next best cars, supposed to be next best cars and
Yeah.
and because they can go on fast tracks, they can actually go on slow tracks. They're actually good on both fast and slow tracks. They always actually usually perform quite well. But it's just sad to see and horrible to just see. It Hampton keeps coming in seventh every weekend, seventh or eighth, seventh
No.
or eighth, seventh or
This
eighth.
has been traumatic for Hamilton fans, though. They've never been used to this.
Yeah, I mean, it's
he's
it's,
doing
it's
well to
horrible,
even be in the
horrible.
top 10, actually. I mean, to be in the top 10 still with this car that's got all these problems in your first season actually shows that he's got some consistency because
Yeah.
if he wasn't doing that, Ferrari wouldn't have been chasing second in the constructors. So from that
Yeah.
point of view, you can still see that he is an able driver, but he is severely
Yeah.
handicapped.
Claire, I was gonna joke. Speaking of handicap, they said, you know what we need to do? We need to bring back Schumacher to consult our team. They said, oh, sir, Schumacher's a little indisposed right now. God damn it! I forgot again. I forgot again. Call his son. Maybe his son knows something.
He
His
says, speak to
brother,
his
maybe my
There,
brother.
brother
when
might help.
Schumacher
Speak to
was
my
there,
brother, Hal. Speak to my
when
brother,
Schumacher was
Hal.
there, Schumacher built that car. He built that car when he was there. You get my point. Because Schumacher, the Germans are very disciplined. You know, John, you live there. Germany, they're disciplined. If you're not on time, if it's not exact, people get mad. So Schumacher had them on task. But now that he's gone, they don't have that level of discipline. What do you think, Johnny? Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what's missing, that somebody, or I don't know, something to just make them concentrate and focus on what they have to do, because like ever since Schumacher left, nothing has happened. Only once, I think,
Yeah.
Raikkonen.
Yeah. And you know who
Yeah,
also
Ferrari
did
is
discipline? Like,
rudderless. They need someone to grab that team by the scruff of the neck.
yeah, they do. They need it. They
Maybe
need.
Honor. Maybe they need Honor, something like Honor.
That's what
They need
maybe Honda
Horner
over
or
there.
a
Yeah.
Horner type person, a big personality that will clear out the nonsense and will keep what's good and will press on and will not take prisoners. They need a ruthless change.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, so let's head on up. So we'll be back again. I think it's 2